All righty, Superintendent Davis, come on up.
Yeah, wait, let me put you out in front. She's so super smart. So first of all, good morning. And I'm not going to say it twice and hoop you up because today I learned something from Darvell that I should start from a success. So today my success is I woke up this morning and realized that I get a week in San Diego next week. And so somehow I planned that not knowing the cold weather was here, but thankful that I was smart enough to do that. So hopefully you guys will keep warm while I am basking in the sun. What are we doing? Jumping? Am I going too slow? Okay, I'm going to speed up. We actually just met like a minute ago, right? You want to tell me your name?
Manaya.
And you want to tell them what grade you're in?
Kindergarten.
You want to tell them how smart you are? Well, as you know, we started implementing Ed Talks, and last LTL, those Ed Talks were just fabulous, and we get an opportunity to learn from each other. Today, the following Ed Talks will come from the 3 schools up that I have, but because I met Manaya, I thought we would talk a little bit about how she feels. But I'm curious, why aren't you at school today?
Because so I can come here.
Oh, okay. Do you love school?
Yeah.
What do you like the most about school?
Arts and crafts.
Okay, and is there something else that you like at school in centers?
Oh, I really like math centers. I like blocks and kitchen center.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, here's what's really cool. What do you want to be when you grow up?
A fighter.
Don't you love that? And that was out of our mouth. So should we call up your school and your schoolmates? Yeah. So let's introduce your principal, right? You want to introduce or you want me to do it?
Yeah.
This is not planned. We're just going with the flow.
Miss O'Gorman. And students, please come up.
We have some amazing talent right here in Washoe County School District, and what a great idea to exhibit that talent at LTL. As we look at what happened today, we heard from elementary schools, we heard from middle schools, and then we heard from a high school. And we know the journey and the road to graduation starts at pre-K, and so we are excited to share the official record-setting year with you this year of an 84% graduation rate. Give yourselves a round of applause. Which simply meant we graduated 3,918 15 students. And what's so great about that is not that we graduated more students, is that we closed achievement gaps in our district, and that's what we are looking for. But today I want to celebrate some growth. Is Taylor Harper in here from Innovations, or anybody from Innovations? Maybe not, just got called out, not at a meeting, great. They had a 31 percentage point increase this year. North Valley's in the house. It must be cold outside. Is this mandatory meeting? Oh, there you go. Hi. North Valley's had a 17 percentage point increase. Let's give them a round of applause. And I know I saw Kevin Carroll taking pictures. 15% increase, the 3 highest in the district. And then these are the schools who actually reached the 90% or higher. And so this year we had 8 schools. And let's give them all a round of applause. But if you look at the district and the growth, there you go. Here's a snapshot from 2013 to where we are today. And I think that really says what we're doing with our 4 fundamentals, not changing every year, not doing something new, sticking to what we know. But I want to talk a little bit about the high school proficiency test. So during the 2013 legislative session, which phased out high school proficiency exams and introduced and replaced the end of course exams, people were talking about, well, is the graduation rate real, right? Because everybody was going to pass the test. Somebody asked you that the simple answer, if it was that easy, why aren't we at 100%? Right? Because there's a lot of work still to be done. We talk about the needs of our kids and that credit attainment and the challenges they have, whether it's around trauma, whether it's around attendance, whether it's around special needs or things outside of the home. It's not just as easy as passing a test. But the Office of Accountability, Ben's office, really pulled some good data for us, and they ran the last 3 graduating classes. And what we looked at was it shows up as 3% of the Washoe County School District, about 130 students, would likely have graduated had it not been for the high school proficiency examination, which means even if you take that out, we still had a record-breaking year. It wasn't a direct impact of the proficiency test. And just in case somebody in here doesn't know, if you did not pass your high school proficiency test since 1979, you actually are now allowed to get issued a diploma, because that is not a requirement. And so if you know somebody who didn't get a diploma 10 years ago, they actually get a high school diploma now. And that word is out. We have averaged handing out 75 diplomas a day so far. So, and that's good news for our students who have not had diplomas and cannot get into the military, get into things. It's good news for them. But you can see the stats up there. We talked about the graduation rate success stories. I think there's tons of those stories and tons of stories, but what is great is this amazing video that we hope will work. Okay.
I think the district graduation rate is a great example of so many people working really hard together for a really important goal.
You can't help students achieve, you can't help students be successful and graduate without building relationships. And at the same time, you need to leverage those relationships to help students achieve to their full potential.
I promise to work hard, I will model working hard, and I expect that my staff will do the same, and guess what? They do, and they do it with such love and dedication, and so I'm thankful for that.
I stayed true to my belief that all kids can be successful with a model that is structured around a loving culture.
Every student needs a little something different. Some students want to participate in lots of activities, and that keeps them involved. Some students take their time getting involved in school, and you have to stick with them. You have to persevere for them.
Between the amazing counseling staff and the dedicated, hardworking teachers, and the family graduation advocate, the social worker, if it wasn't for them, it wouldn't be possible.
To achieve graduation success, we want to make sure that each student is achieving their personal success. And we know them by name and face, and we check in with them. I check in with them.
Giving everyone in our system an opportunity to use their voice. Every student, the CLS student, our special needs students, our AP students, and everyone in between.
We start to meet our students at our feeder schools back in in 8th grade, so we actually know them when they're coming and starting here at Sparks their freshman year. And again, we track them all 4 years and have a plan for each one of them and to get them to graduation.
I basically adopted a family of about 15 kids who were on the cusp at the beginning of their senior year. I met with these kids every single week. I took pictures of them with graduation cap and gown on at different intervals in the year and said, "You can do this. I know you can."
We invited over 350 students to graduation last year, and that was a great accomplishment for us. It was a lot of outcomes, it was a lot of hard work, a lot of building relationships with these students to make sure that they felt supported and make sure that they could get across that finish line.
So I think being visible is a key part. So we ask teachers to greet students at the door, to get to know students, to understand where they're from, what their story is, and how that story will make them successful in their programs.
We became very, very intentional on our action plans and the steps that we needed in order to push those graduation numbers. I'm very proud of my staff. They are wonderful teachers who go over and beyond to help be a support to the students, and that's a beautiful thing.
In a 24-hour day, we have the kids for 6 hours. They have 18 other hours, so what we try to do is pack as much positivity and understanding into the 6 hours that we do have.
We set up meetings frequently with students and their parents so that we can set them up for success. And it's just been wonderful to watch the relationships that the teachers have built with the students.
The more independence you can develop with each and every student, the more opportunity they're going to have once they leave this school and do achieve a greater level of independence overall.
I'm just proud of the fact that we had a few students finish over the summer, and that's very hard because they may have started the year way behind. And we kind of explained, listen, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
It's the whole staff working together and not allowing the student to quit, not allowing the student to give up on themselves. That's a lot of positive support and just the whole team approach of being there for each and every kid.
It took Saturdays, it took intercession, it took time and commitment, but no child was told graduation wasn't possible. It was, here's where you're at, and how do we figure out how to get you to graduate.
Still proud of our culture. Our culture here is amazing.
Immense pride to be a link in that chain.
What we live, what we breathe every day.
We have to have our eyes wide open all the time.
They need to know that it's a team approach.
It took the entire community.
We all play a huge role in making sure students are successful.
They have to have a lot of courage to come back to school and finish what they didn't complete.
Providing as many opportunities as we can.
And when they're ready, then we're ready.
Solid plans for each individual kid.
We never are complacent.
You get to understand where they're coming from.
Really changing their mindset.
Challenging them to be successful.
It takes a lot of grit.
They all have it in them.
Oh my gosh, this kid really got it.
They truly are every child by name and face to graduation.
Great job, principals. You know, that's a great video. Middle school principals, get ready, because I think we have to highlight the work as we matriculate up, and then we go to elementary school so our community can see snapshots of what actually goes on in your buildings and the work that you do for our children. But today, it is time for LTL, and our 4 fundamentals today, as you know, is core curriculum and instruction. You know what that look is for? Thanks. The journey for graduation, as you saw today with the kids up here, starts in elementary school and the work that we do to matriculate up. A kid didn't learn how to read in the 12th grade, you know. So it's important that we are a cohesive team as we move through this, as we matriculate kids through the journey. In core curriculum instruction today, our position statement is all students are provided Tier 1 core instruction as aligned to the Nevada Academic Content Standards. And we will be working on Fundamental 1 today. As you can see, there are some expectations around Fundamental 1, but one of the key expectations around Fundamental 1 that I would like to highlight is that instruction is rich and meaningful for all students. Every student has to be exposed. And it's funny, when we were doing that activity with the Shaw staff, that is what I wrote when she said write something down. And my headline was, every child, every day, access to Tier 1 instruction. Another important expectation from Fundamental 1 is families are critical partners in core instruction. And I can tell you that we spent a lot of time last week on family engagement. We had a national committee here. The trustee and I went to home visit committee, but one of the most amazing things I think we need to be proud of is that this district is looked upon as a national model with the success we are having for parents. But how do we continue to engage parents in this model? Because we know parents reinforce the work that happens at homes. We have some lovely pictures, and I know both these families, but families nurture dreams for our children, and we must see them as equal partners. But I think more than that, my teacher could have had high expectations of me, but really it wouldn't have mattered. What mattered was when I came home to my mom, and my mom and dad was proud of me. So think of how impactful it is when we engage our families, and our children know that it's important to their mom and dad. When you think about the little one up here today who said she wanted to be a firefighter, I was thinking she was going to say a teacher or a mom. You know, she's in kindergarten, and she was like, a firefighter? And I was like, wow. And think of how you could nurture that while you're the teacher, but if the parents also are a part of that, how much more beneficial and impactful for her it will be. So we will continue on this journey to do this work. Am I introducing you, Kristen? Are you behind me? So watch this. This is how you do an introduction. I'm going to call the deputy superintendent up here. See how I saved about 2 minutes? Your introductions are super long.